West Lothian College opens doors to the future. It opens doors to opportunities, to the world of work, and a better, brighter future for you.
My name is Ami. I'm CE Fishing grade. My dreams are to open my own restaurant.
My name is Sarah. I'm in my third year of my course. My dream job would be a sports massage therapist for the Scottish Rugby Union.
I'm Jack. I'm going to be a microbiologist and I'm studying at West Applied Science. This will take me on to university to get a degree.
I'm Today's. I love sport and I'm studying sport fitness level 6.
I've greatly benefited from the one-to-one tutoring I've received here at West Lothian College. The support that we've had from the lecturers has been fantastic.
Wee bit further this way. Wee bit further this way.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're from the Livingston Players and we're here to help you relax before the ceremony begins. And we'd like to start off by congratulating everybody who's going to graduate today. So we're going to sing some things for you which are aimed at inspiring and fitting in with the day's events. Thank you.
Spread a little happiness.
is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of my dreaming, scheming and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, but now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. When I look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them
How do you measure butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'll march my band out, I'll beat my drum, and if I'm found out, you turn a bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rose of sheer perfection, a freckle on the nose of life's complexion, the cinder or the shiny apple of its eye, I gotta fly once, I gotta try once, only can die once, right, sir? Ooh, life is juicy, juicy, and you see, I gotta have my bite, sir. Get ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Nobody's gonna rain on my parade. I'm gonna live now. Get what I want, I know how. One roll from the hill show. High on a target and well. One gotcha bell. Hey, Mr. Einstein, here I am. I'll march my band out, I'll beat my drum, and if I'm found out, you turn at bat, sir. And Riz, I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my
Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very warm welcome to you all. Just as they process around the hall, can you just one more big round of thanks to the Livingston players who hopefully thought did a beautiful job for us this morning. I said a very, very warm welcome to College Graduation 2018. This event is the most important event as far as the college calendar is concerned. And what I would encourage you all to do over the next hour or so is just to reflect on success which we're celebrating today amongst our graduates, because it's the support that families, friends, relatives have provided to all our graduates which have enabled them to achieve the success which we're celebrating this morning. So the most important thing about today is to remember it and to celebrate it and enjoy yourselves. Inevitably, part of my job this morning is to provide you with some of the practicalities of what's about to happen. So what's more important, obviously, as well as enjoying yourselves, is obviously your individual safety. So if there is, we do need to evacuate the college, then there are emergency exits both behind you and also behind the stage and also to the right as well. But the most important thing to remember is there will be staff on hand at all times. So if there's any issues whatsoever, please seek out a member of staff who will be located around the edge of the hall all the time for whatever issues or challenge you might have. But as I said, as far as evacuation is concerned, listen to the instructions and we'll make sure everybody leaves as safe as possible. Again, we've got qualified first aiders on duty. So again, if you are feeling slightly faint or you're not feeling well, again, just make that known to a member of staff and we'll make sure that we'll take care of your every need. Just in terms of practicalities of our graduates, this is probably the last time which you'll need to sort of follow college instructions, so listen carefully just for a few moments. There'll be no exam, however, at the end of this particular session. We'll be graduating around about 230 graduates. So what will happen, the first 4 rows will be graduated first, and then what will happen, I will lead you round the hall, and we'll walk right around the hall, and then you'll be invited to come up onto stage and to collect your degree certificates. There'll then be a very short break, and we'll make sure you know when the break is, and that means we can then just allow time then to switch the hall slightly round, and then we'll take the final few rows back for graduation as well. And again, a member of staff will be there to guide you around. So basically, just follow us, and we'll make sure you do the right thing. One important thing as far as once you're graduated, you will not be returning back to your seats which you're sitting in now. So if you do have any bags or any personal belongings, can you please make sure that either you carry them with you or you give them to one of your family or friends here at this point, because then you will not be returning back to the seats which you're currently sitting in. But again, we'll guide you into that process as well. At the end of the ceremony, we will be processing the graduates out. So at this point, I would ask all guests to remain seated at the end. Then we will process out, and then obviously you'll be free then to join for photographs and so forth outside and to enjoy the refreshments as well. And just in case you then decide to go off and celebrate your success, can you please make sure that you pick up all your degree certificates at the end by 1:30, so there will be a kind of a cut-off point to make sure when you actually collect your formal certificate. So that's the end of the formalities. What I will say is inevitably there will be lots of photographs being taken. What I will remind you is, can you please make sure your phones are turned to silent for the ceremony itself. But hopefully what part of the college graduation, as I said, is about celebration. It's about that recognising that sense of achievement, which hopefully you'll all feel when you come up and to get your certificates themselves. It's a formal occasion, but it's also informal. So I'd encourage you all, in whatever form of celebration you wish to do, we're not going to stand you on ceremony, so relax as much as you can. But more importantly, for the audience, enjoy the event and celebrate along with everybody else. So formal proceedings will start in approximately 5 minutes. So at this point, I will leave you just to sort yourselves out for a few minutes, and we'll be back shortly with you in just a few moments' time. Thank you.
Entre siluetas de humedad Could you make yourself known, please? If Jenna Snape, if you're in the hall, could you make yourself known, please?
encontrarte a ti en un encuentro casual. Quiero contarte quienes me hacen odiar, personas para odiar, palabras para odiar, las ropas para odiar. Y cómo no seré algo para odiar, más tu sonrisa habla de vivir, haciendo nada más cosas que suelen saber. Sigue detrás de mí del corredor al comedor, anda, debes de dejar la fábrica académica y búscame la matiné en esta oscura matiné. Lo bueno de la matiné es que es mía la matiné, verás, tú verás. Ahora estoy en la radio,
Estoy cantando en la radio.
recuerdo a Terry Wogan como lo hice yo. Mis actos no son claros
Y no es cantando en la radio.
y él se echa a reír diferente a mí. Mi risa y mi hablar son tan simples hoy,
Y es tan simple hoy.
es tan fácil hoy, tan sencillo. Y sigue detrás de mí del corredor al comedor y anda, debes de dejar la fábrica académica y búscame la matiné en esta oscura matiné. Lo bueno de la matiné es que es mía la matiné. Y sigue detrás de mí del corredor al comedor y anda, debes de dejar la fábrica académica y búscame la matiné en esta oscura matiné. Lo bueno de la matiné es que es mía la matiné, verás, tú verás.
Enter in the dance, plug it in and we begin. Crowd up in the center, they watch for the rhythm. Watch the way we drop it in a mix time. Rise and amplifying when we come in with this swing. Just following the pattern, naturally harmonizing. Climb into position styling. Sometime, can you feel the pressure just a wine? Sometime, and through the day and through the night. Sometime, you can make a pressure just a wine. Sometime, it's for your spirit and your mind. Sometime, watch how we drop it on the off on the line. One time lyrics them must stick on your mind. Baseline I go prop and provide. My MC super I go dapper on the ride. Sometime can you feel the pressure just a wine? Sometime and through the day and through the night. Sometime. Baby, just recline. Worldwide, 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 worldwide. Enter in the dance, plug it in and we begin. Crowd up in the center, they watch for the rhythm. Watch the way we drop it in a mix time. Rise and amplifying when we coming with this swing. Just following the pattern, naturally harmonizing. Climb into position, we synchronize it. Live from outer ghetto, we maximize it. Sound of the move, mother, we super styling. We super styling. We super styling. Sometime, can you feel the pressure just a wine? Sometime, and through the day and through the night. Sometime, you can make a pressure just a wine. Sometime, it's for your spirit and your mind. Sometime, you can make a pressure just a wine.
Beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble with herself. He was always there to help her. She always belonged to someone else. I drove for miles and miles and wound up at your door. I've had you so many times, but somehow I want more. I don't mind spending every day out on your corner in the pouring rain. Look for the girl with the broken smile and ask her if she wants to stay a while. She will be loved, and she will be loved. Tap on my window, knock on my door. I want to make you feel beautiful. I know I tend to get so insecure. Doesn't matter anymore. It's not always rainbows and butterflies, it's compromise. want somebody's love? Don't you need somebody's love? Wouldn't you love somebody's love? You better find somebody to love. Your eyes, I say your eyes may look like him, but in your head, baby, I'm afraid you don't know where it is. Don't you want somebody to love?
Wow, what a sight. This is the biggest audience we've ever had at this award ceremony. It's fantastic to see everybody here. Great to see the students here. Absolutely great. Anyway, my name's Alec Lingston. I'm chair of the board, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all here this morning. So on behalf of the Board of Governors, a very warm welcome to our graduation ceremony for this year. As I say, it's fabulous to see all the students here being joined by their family and friends. Studying can be a very lonely existence, I know from personal experience, and it's the support you get from your family and friends that helps sustain you. But when you get that piece of paper saying you've qualified, that you've reached the required standard, it's a feeling you never ever forget. And some of you will share it in later life with your own kids or grandkids, but you'll still remember that sensation when you pass an important examination. So thanks to all the support you've received from your family and friends. I'd also like to introduce our new principal, Jackie Galbraith. Jackie started with us in August. She was previously Vice Principal Shrew at Ayrshire College, and she's now been here 3 months and she's already making her mark. So welcome to your first graduation. Hopefully it'll be the first of many, Jackie. We're also pleased to be joined on the platform by our guest speaker, Mark Beaumont, Neil Finlay, MSP, and Provost of West Lothian, Tom Kerr. We also have a number of special guests: Graham Smith, our college chaplain, our MSPs, Angela Constance and Fiona Hislop, and our MP, Hannah Bardell, as well as David Dodds, Chair of Education Committee for West Lothian Council. And it's good to have so many politicians here. It shows their commitment to the college and to further education. So long continue the political support of these people. We also have Scott Anderson, HM Inspector of Education, Michael Bates, Director of Heriot University. And we also have 2 employers. I'm sure we've got more employers here, but 2 have been told about: Lee's Vickery and Ashley Forrest from Sally's Livingston. So many thanks to our special guests for taking time out from their busy lives to be with us today as we celebrate your achievement. And I'd also like to pay tribute to the tremendous partnership working that takes place in West Lothian. I think we are recognised as an area of outstanding partnership working, and that greatly benefits the college. It gives our students work experience. It gives us, as college management, valuable feedback on performance, and it helps us plan our future courses to meet the needs of our workforce. So thanks very much to all the people who get involved in assisting the college. And including that, I'd like to say a big thank you to board members who have come along this morning, who give freely of their actual time. And in giving out the congratulations, I've got to mention our staff. I think we've got a fabulous staff. They're very professional. Very much students are at the centre of everything we do. So I'd like to say a big thank you to our staff for all they've done in getting us to this actual stage. So thank you. And final. Yeah, I was beginning to think you weren't allowed to clap. I was just wondering what instructions you'd had before I got up here. Anyway, thanks for that. But they're certainly well worth your applause. And the final bit, I'd like to say a thank you to our graduates. It's with a deep sense of pride, joy and satisfaction that I join with my fellow board members in congratulating our students today for their success. This is certainly a day for celebration. It's a day I hope you'll never forget. So celebrate, dream and plan the next steps of your journey. I hope what you've learned at the college will stand you in good stead for whatever journey you embark on after that. I know some of you are coming back to further education, some will go on to do higher education, and some will go into employment. But I hope you're leaving here with the confidence and skills to see you into your next phase of your actual life. So congratulations again, well done, tremendous achievement, and best wishes for the future. So I now invite our Principal, Jackie Galbraith, to give some opening remarks. Thank you.
Good morning. I would like to join Alec in welcoming you all to West Lothian's 2018 graduation ceremony, which is fantastic. This is the biggest graduation ceremony I've been at. Ayrshire was a bigger college. We did a number of graduation ceremonies, but none have been as big as this, so it's fantastic to see so many students, so many families and so many friends here today. Alex said that I started as principal 3 months ago, and I feel really privileged and really proud to join you today. I don't know most of the students that are graduating today, but I've heard a lot about your stories. I've heard a lot from staff about your journey over the past year, and I feel really privileged to be part of your celebration of the wonderful students that are here today. Graduation is one of the most special days in the college year, a day that's devoted to recognising the achievements of our students and reflecting on what contributed to your success. At West Lothian College, we want to inspire everyone who comes to college to reach their full potential. And one of the best ways for us to do that, to inspire others, is by celebrating and sharing the success of graduates like you, because it's graduates like you who will inspire other people, young and old, to come to college and work hard and achieve the kind of qualifications you're achieving today. As a college, we're ambitious for our students, and we want you to progress on to good jobs or on to university. And in this room today, there are hundreds of students who have done just that. And I'm really delighted that West Lothian College, outside of the two cities, Glasgow and Edinburgh, has got the highest rates of students who move on to university, to full-time jobs or to apprenticeships, which is a great testimony to the work of the college. And just to give you a few examples of that kind of excellence of our students, over the year, as well as doing their studies, over 100 students went abroad for work placements. Countries in Europe, countries in Malaysia, even countries as far afield as South Africa. One of our business students, Caitlin Livingston, won a scholarship to study the second year of her HND in America. So she's currently out in America completing her HND study there, and when she comes back she'll study third year of a Napier University degree at the college and then move on to Napier to complete her degree. Earlier on this year, some of our HNC mechanical engineering students took part in a multi-award winning project in Malaysia with Mitsubishi and a range of other partners, including the British Council. And what a fantastic experience that was for the students and for the staff that took part in that. And just one example, and you're all sitting here today having achieved your HNC or your HND, but just one example of how well our students do when they achieve these qualifications. On our HNC Contemporary Art Practice course, every single student who applied for a degree were accepted at some of the most prestigious art institutions in Scotland. And that's a huge honour and a huge thing to actually achieve. But of course, central to you achieving your qualifications, as Alex said, are those who supported you over the year. Your family, your friends, and your fellow students. And I'm sure that they've helped you through good and hard times over the past year. And I remember when I was at college, there were some difficult times. I was at college as a young mum with some financial challenges at that time, and it was through people at the staff and my fellow students that kept me going when it was hard, and especially kept me going when I was getting stuck on some aspects of the course that I felt I lacked confidence in. And as Alex said, also fundamental to your success are your lecturers and the other staff in the college who supported you over the year. And I'm really delighted that you gave staff a round of applause when Alec mentioned that, because everyone who works at this college is proud of your success. It's almost as if they feel they're part of your family, which is when I'm talking to staff. So the staff who keep the college clean, those who serve you food in the cafe, those who taught you in the classroom and in the workshops, the salons, the kitchens, and those who offered you you additional support when you needed it. All of those staff are proud of your success, and many of them have volunteered to come in today on a Saturday, give up their time to see you and be proud of you accepting your awards today. So I would like to reinforce Alex's comment and say a huge thank you to all of the wonderful staff at this college who've supported you over the year, because I think they have done a fantastic job. That's great. But of course, the main contributor to your success was you. It was your hard work. It was work that you put in that got you to where you are. So be very proud of the hard work that you put in. Be proud of how you managed your way through any difficulties you faced over the year, and be confident in your ability to succeed in whatever next step you've chosen. You might remember sometimes, excuse me, over the year where it might have been a bit difficult for you, but you got through that. So whatever you're doing now, whether you're in work, whether you're at university, whether you're at college doing an HND, remember that you'll face challenges, but you got through them this year and you'll get through them again. Just a few final words from me. These days, we're told that graduates like you are likely to have many job changes through your life. And that might sound a bit scary. Sometimes those job changes will be through choice. Sometimes they'll be forced upon you through closures of companies or whatever it happens to be. But I think the key thing about all of that is it is a bit scary, but there are things that you can do to help you cope with that. I think the first thing is, and this is really important given that you've just achieved your qualifications, is stay interested in whatever you do. Whatever job you do, whatever course you do, whatever you do in life, stay interested, keep learning, and don't be afraid of change. Because the thing that you'll get most out of your career in this fast-moving world is if you embrace those attributes. Change will happen, and throughout your life, change will happen, and it's much better to be prepared for it, to develop the skills to adapt to it, so that you're a wee bit more in control of it and you can cope your way through it. The second thing I would encourage you to do is to build your networks. And whatever your profession is, whatever your subject expertise is, a huge advantage that you have today that people my age could never have imagined when we were doing our college courses or graduating at college or university is the global reach of social media and the access that it gives you to other people in your field. So I would encourage you to connect with experts in your area on LinkedIn. People are very generous with their knowledge and to share what they're doing. They don't feel that it's wrong for people to approach them for help. So to do that, to keep up to date with developments in your field, to seek advice from experts if you're stuck on something, and to get yourself noticed for that dream job that you're going to have next or further down the line. I really would encourage you to do that. And importantly, in this world of change, another piece of advice I would give you is do what you can to develop resilience and grit. Because sometimes in life and work, things go wrong. It could be a poor career choice, a bad boss. It could be a problem at work. It could be a family crisis. It could be ill health, whether that's physical or mental. So invest time in keeping yourself mentally strong, because that will help you cope with any challenges you face as you come out. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm recovering from a cold. It will help you face any challenges positively so that you come out stronger. And the final piece of advice I would give you is in whatever you do in life, be kind. Be kind to your fellow workers, your fellow students, your family, your friends. Be fair in how you deal with people, and treat people the way that you would expect and you would want to be treated yourself. Because these are things that will help you be successful in the jobs that you take forward and in your communities and what you do. So finally, well done to every single one of you. You've made a huge achievement today. You've joined an exclusive club in the people of West Lothian, that third of the population who've got a higher education qualification. So you've joined that club. Your qualifications are relevant to and they're sought after by many employers in West Lothian and beyond West Lothian. So thank you very much for being such positive ambassadors at West Lothian College, for being great ambassadors for young people and older people in Scotland. And please today make sure that you shout loud and proud for yourselves, for your classmates, and for the families and friends here, for the children whose mums and dads might be graduating today. Shout as loud as you want when they come on stage to achieve their awards. So I'm going to finish by introducing Mark Bowman, our guest speaker. who you may have read about in your programme this morning. Mark has a great story to tell, and you will see some of his achievements in your graduation programme. Mark's come along today to talk to you about his journey and to share with you what he's learned along the way, and I'm sure you'll hear some really interesting tips and advice in terms of how you move forward. So please join me in welcoming Mark Beaumont.
Thank you, Jackie. Principal, Provost, Ministers, graduands, a very warm welcome. And, well, I can see you starting to use your programmes for their other use. It is warm in here, but trust me when I say you're looking absolutely fabulous. And I'm sure the photos, as you come across stage and then afterwards outside, will be a great memory for the hard work you've put in to getting to this big day. I'd also like to thank the team here for giving us the booster step. I'm 6'3" and fairly lanky anyway, so I'm feeling utterly gigantic. We've got newborns in the room at the back. We've got grandparents. What a wonderful coming together for so many people celebrating your hard work. And it's going to be a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you walking across this stage very soon. But I've been asked just to share a few thoughts as to what it took for me to go from early stages, acorns of ideas, to the career I've had. And I really hope within that you can reflect on where you are and the ambitions you've got. To take you right back to the very start, I had a bit of an odd first 10, 12 years because I didn't go to school. So when it comes to education, well, I was on the farm. I was around the kitchen table for an hour or two every day, learning subjects, but the rest of the time I was running the farm. There was 60 goats to milk every morning, there was hens to be collected from 200 hens, there was horses to muck out, and there was a farm to run. I've got 2 daughters of my own now, and I realised what a different childhood they'll have to what I had. I had wilderness, the outdoors. I do worry that my daughters won't know how to make their own shoes out of rabbit skins and things which I was very good at as a child. But by the time I was plonked into high school at the age of 12, can you imagine? You've never been to school, you've never socialised outside of having a couple of sisters. I was academically fine, believe it or not. A couple of hours around the kitchen table had done me fine, but socially pretty inept. You know, you go into a school playground and that's a pretty intimidating place. And ultimately, what allows you to get by at the high school age is often not standing out, is often conforming, and what in accordance with your peers is acceptable. The colour of your shoes, the way you cut your hair, the way you put your school bag over your shoulder. I'm sure you'll all remember those days. And then what you realise once you leave high school and you go into the big bad world, it's actually your differences which define you. It's not conforming. It's having the quiet confidence to step out and do the things which interest you, and you feel like you're in the driving seat for what you do. And I think that Jackie, when she said, stay interested and build your network, that's absolutely the heart of the people I know who are content, happy, driven by what they do. A line which I was told very, very early on in my 20s, which I stick by and I try and talk about when I'm recruiting my teams, is try and be valued because of who you are, not just what you do. And I think a lot of people end up spending their entire careers defined by the thing they graduate in or the thing they learn. I am a fill the gap. Whereas you find the people who really have that fire in the belly, they get up and go. They've had the education. Education is a wonderful, powerful thing, but it actually, believe it or not, means nothing if you don't inject personal choice back into it. You're the boss. You get to choose. And that's the exciting bit. So never let anyone else be in charge of what you do. And I want to give you some examples around that. I was 11 years old when I first read about somebody going on a journey. And it was in my local paper. I picked it up and I read about somebody going from John O'Groats to Land's End on a bicycle. I had no idea what that entailed. I was an 11-year-old kid. I went to the farm car, the Landy, and I got the AA road map, and I found a highlighter pen, and I found all the roads from the top of Scotland to the bottom of England. I took it to Mum and Dad quite proudly, and I said, I want to do this. I was 11 years old. What did I do? And my dad, being a bit of a grumpy farmer, told me off for putting highlighter pen all over the map. And my mum, being slightly more supportive, said, well, why don't you try something smaller first, because you've not really cycled off the farm before. So I recruited a buddy and we went from Dundee to Oban across Scotland. I'd just turned 12. Now, it wasn't just the sport of it, the journey, it was the planning. Going door to door, raising money for some Scottish charities, and at the end of it, getting my picture in the paper, sharing that story to an audience. And okay, I'm doing this professionally now, but that's what I've grown on to do over the last 23 years. I'm now 35 years old. For the first 10 years, very much as an amateur, until I was graduating myself at the age of 22. And at that point, I had a perfectly useful economics degree, and people expected me to go and work in finance. I did not plan to have the career that I've got. The aforementioned father still doesn't think it is a career. At that point, I simply had an ambition. For 10 years, I'd built from this acorn of an idea, can I pedal across Scotland? Built the comfort zone, built the ability to think, well, I wonder if I could cycle around the world. I assumed that the round the world cycling record would be something coveted, something professional. I thought it would be like the round the world sailing record. I thought it would be the biggest prize in the sport. So I assumed that for somebody like myself, having never been coached, never been trained, you know, it would be something I would do at my own pace, but certainly never for a record. So I couldn't believe when I spotted the fact that the record stood at 276 days. Only 5 people had ever tried it, and it really wasn't a known thing. I thought, well, this is more of a feat of enterprise than it is being an athlete. I thought, that deserves done properly. The record stood at 276. Now, you never want to be unkind about anyone who has cycled around the planet, 18,000 miles, but take it from me, 276 days is very, very slow. And so back then, we're talking about right at the start of my career, I took a blank sheet of paper and I thought, right, I can ride 100 miles a day. Can I go from Edinburgh to Glasgow and back again, you know, in a day? I'm sure I can. That's 100 miles. Do that every single day for 18,000 miles. That's 180 days. That's half a year. Let's allow a contingency for flights and any delays of a day, a fortnight. That gives you 195 days. So my plan was to pedal around the planet in 195 days. I got around the planet in 194 days and 17 hours. So perspective on that success was everyone else went, wow, you've smashed the world record by 2 months. I broke my target by 8 hours. And that was a big BBC documentary which really launched my career. It was called The Man Who Cycled the World 10 years ago. But it made me very stuck on the fact, ever since, with every team I've ever worked with, every project I've ever built, every time I build a team and build an ambition, it feels like a startup. You have to get the funding, recruit the team, build the momentum, and then get to do what you're passionate about doing. But I've got this firm belief that you never do better than what you set out to do. It's not about the romantic notion of just train hard as an athlete and then get out there and figure out what happens. You figure it out before you start, and then you read it off script. And if you look at all the projects that I've taken on with my teams over the last 10, 12 years, we have always created a leap in performance. We're always doing something completely distinct from what's gone before. With due respect to history and what other people have done, we learn from them, but don't make the same mistake that everyone else makes, which is base your targets on history. So many people in work, in sport, simply say, well, as long as I do better than last year, that's success. Or as long as I do better than what the competition are doing, that's success. You don't actually get that blank sheet of paper and say, with my life experience, with my network, with my comfort zone, with my technical ability, what is possible? What's the art of the possible? Now, if that sounds blindingly obvious, let me tell you that most people don't do that. They just say, let's get stuck into the detail, let's hope it works out, and let's do better than we did last time. Those marginal gains are interesting, but what's really, really exciting is when you set your own plan and you have the confidence to say, this is the art of the possible. Last year I came back to this first idea, this round the world. And a lot has changed in that time. It's gone from an unsupported to a fully supported record. And this time last year, I pedaled around the world for a second time, this time with a full support team, so much, 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 much quicker. But once again, we took that 18,000 mile route and we thought, what is the art of the possible? What should be possible? And we spent a year and a half trying to figure out what that would be. Now, the record at that point stood held by an Olympian, a New Zealand athlete, in 123 days. With due respect, I was not interested in breaking 123 days. We figured out through a lot of testing and trialing that we could get around the world in 80 days. Now, you don't need to be a PR genius to get the hook. That is a big one-time prize. You say that anywhere around the world, not just here in Scotland or the UK, around the world in 80 days means something. It might not be Jules Verne in 1873, it might be Disney, but it is a thing. It is a line in the sand. You know, you tell me the second person who climbed Everest. Tell me the second person who ran a 4-minute mile. That's a big hook. But it was a rational plan, and we claimed that prize before we turned a single pedal stroke. Before we actually got to Paris and pedaled out, we claimed the 80 days. We told, and do you know the amount of people? When I was trying to get funding, when I was trying to recruit my team, and I said, look, here's the plan, here's our rational plan, and this is how we're going to do it. And they said to me, yeah, we love the ambition, we get it, but wouldn't you be far better going out there and just saying you're trying to break the 123 days, break the record? If you really can go sub 80, make that the punchline, make that the story once you get back to Paris. And I said very clearly, can you imagine turning around to your team? I had 40 people working on my project last year, between performance, logistics and media. Can you imagine turning around to your team and saying, right, we're trying to break the old world record, and if everything goes really well, we'll go sub 80. You're never going to go sub 80. Not if your reference point for success is somebody else's target, 2 months slower. It doesn't work that way. So I said, because it's a rational plan and because we've worked it out, we're going to claim it because we did it and everyone's bought into what we're trying to do rather than looking over your shoulder the whole time. But before I tell you briefly what we ended up doing, let me tell you a bit about what inspired me to get back to that project. Over the decades, there has been lots of different projects, mountaineering, ocean rowing, Arctic, with teams, some solo, but a lot of broadcasting work as well. And in the build-up to Glasgow 2014, the Commonwealth Games, I was asked to go around the entire Commonwealth, 68 nations and territories, and tell the story of the hundreds, thousands of athletes who were making their way to Scotland to compete. Now, I got to meet the biggest names in sport. Usain Bolt, Sally Pearson, you name them. But I also got to meet these athletes, these young athletes, many of whom had never left their towns, their countries before, were pulling on their national jersey and were so excited to try and figure out what their personal best was. I met guys like Nigel Amos in Botswana. Nigel was an 18-year-old lad when he went to the London Olympics in 2012. 6 months before, he was trained by his geography teacher in the grass track out the back of his school. He went to London, he put so much into the race, when he finished in the final, he collapsed and he had to be stretchered off. He recovered and he stood on the podium and he took home silver. Botswana's first ever Olympic medal in any sport, in any colour. He went home a national hero. His government gave him 6 cows, which I thought was a bit weird. But I now understand in Botswana, that's like getting your CBE or your knighthood. That's serious kudos. He said his granny now looks after his 6 cows. And I met Nigel in Gaborone in Botswana, and he was in the training for Glasgow and coming to compete, and he was so excited. He'd won silver in London 2 years before. He just left school. I'm sure many of you are, you know, can you imagine going from being taught by your geography teacher, going to the Olympics, and then suddenly you're going, I'm going to win gold at the Commonwealth Games. That was his dream. He tattooed his time from London in massive down his left arm, like seriously big letters. He's like 19 years old. I said, Nigel, you're going to run faster in your life. And he said, yes, but I've got this arm. And I was like, okay. And he came to Glasgow and he won gold. But I don't tell you that because boy done good. I don't tell you because he's made a life for himself and, you know, what an impact with his family. I tell you because I was in Gaborone with him and I got to meet hundreds and hundreds of youngsters who now looked up to Nigel. They weren't sitting there going, well, that's what the Kenyans do, or that's what the Jamaicans do, or that's what Team GB do. They were saying, that's what Nigel does, and Nigel's one of us. So he had broken down any barriers to access in terms of belief, because at the end of any ambition, any career, anything worth doing in life, you have to imagine that that success is for you. If you ever look at anyone on stage and say, well, that's fair enough for them because, and you create reasons and justify, you've immediately allowed yourself not to turn your dreams into where they could be. You could easily reverse engineer my entire career over the last 23 years and say, well, that looks sure-footed and professional. That looks inevitable because one thing leads to the next. One thing does lead to a next, but that's not how it feels whilst you do it. You can only ever see the next horizon, the next thing you're doing. So if you've got a habit of getting furiously busy, getting your sleeves rolled up and throwing your heart and soul into the opportunities that are in front of you, where that leads is not ultimately something you should get too distracted or worried about. People who are very successful in life are very fixed on the impact they want to create, the family and the community around them, the value, that can be money, that they want to create, the wider impact, charity, education, whatever you care about. But then ultimately, they're focused on the bit that they can affect, the behaviors and the inputs within a period of time they can affect, the now, getting busy. And for Nigel, it was incredible to see that impact because the community around him were saying, well, we can do that as well. There was that belief, that connectedness, and it's something that we should all reflect on. What you do is an example to others, and what you do should always be driven by the understanding that there's nothing stopping you. And if you are not surrounded by people who believe that, then find people, have wise counsels, find people you can trust, who you can share these acorns of ideas with, because you never know where they might lead you in years to come. So my final thoughts are what we ended up completing last year. I went out there last April with my team and claimed the 80 days before we turned a single pedal stroke. We'd worked it out meticulously. It would mean getting out your scratcher, out your bed at 3:30 every morning, on the bike at 4. 4 times 4-hour sets, that's 16 hours riding every day. 5 hours a night sleep, every single day for 2.5 months. So that's not a time to get clever. That's not a time to get imaginative about the art of the possible. You work it out before you go, because if you've built yourself an escape hatch, nobody is psychologically strong enough to stick to a routine like that in the heat of battle. You make all those decisions before you leave, and then you get a team to buy into the plan. Behaviors, inputs. I would have to average, this is not your best day, and this is not a one-off day, I would have to average 240 miles a day. Now, if you're not a bike rider or that doesn't make any sense to you, I would encourage you to drive 240 miles and tell me how you feel about it. 240 is a good stint. 3 weeks ago, I organised a charity challenge where I took 80 riders on a 240-mile ride. We went from Campbelltown in Argyll to Duthie Park in Aberdeen. That's 240 miles. So 80 riders, we went around the world in a day, if that makes any sense, and raised 80,000 for the STV Children's Appeal. But it was wonderful to allow people into a day in the life of what we did every single day for 2.5 months last year. Lots went right, lots went wrong. We flew through Europe, 6 countries in 6 days. Day 9, we cleared Moscow, and then I crashed. I fractured my elbow and I broke some teeth. There was a bit of pain management to be done going through the tough roads of Russia and Mongolia, time trialing, racing on that bike for 16 hours a day with a fractured elbow. By the time I was going through winter, across Australia, up New Zealand, we were over halfway around the world. We'd already broken the 1-month record, the most miles ever cycled in a month, over 7,000 miles. By the time I was coming through Canada and back up to the east coast of North America, I was definitely in the hardest, darkest place I've ever been as an endurance athlete. Thank goodness I've got a performance team who are looking out for my safety. Safety has to come before anything else. And the ride back up through Europe was a bit of a blur, to be honest. Lisbon, over the Pyrenees, back up to Paris. The finish was watched live, online, by over 300,000 people. Hundreds and hundreds had made it out to Paris to be a part of it, and it had grown to be everything I dreamt it would be. And yet when you're at the coalface, when you're living it, it's a bit surreal. The greatest emotion associated with any success that you're at the heart of, I'm sure graduation will feel much the same, is actually relief, heartfelt relief, and then pride and happiness to the family and the team around you that have allowed you and supported you to make this possible. You kind of think you're going to pull backflips and live on cloud 9 and be euphoric about it. All that comes afterwards, but when you're in the moment, it's relief, and it's an incredible sense of satisfaction to have lived the dream. So I told you before, the plan was 80 days. That was worked out as 75 days riding, 3 days flights, and 2 days contingency. We got around the world in 78 days, 14 hours, 40 minutes. So there's two ways of looking at that success. Yes, we broke the old world record by 40 odd days, but we used 14 out of our 48 hours contingency. We broke the old world record by 37%. We broke our target by 1.77%. You never do better than what you set out to do. So if you don't care about sport, you don't care about journeys, you don't care about what I do in the nuts and the bolts of it, all I'd like you to remember is, you know, when I was setting out 12 years ago in my career, I could not have imagined in my wildest dreams that those small steps would have led to where they have. But the quiet confidence to figure out what was possible with the team around me has allowed us over the years to do quite remarkable things. I'll finish where I started. I'm 6'3" and 90 kilos. I am not the world's best bike rider. I'll tell you that for free. So being good at what you do is important. Having the education is important. But the really exciting stuff is you being you. Building on top of that, personal choices and setting your ambitions on your terms. Using that education in your way. Because as I say, there's many other bike riders who could ride faster, but not without a different plan. And the plan is completely yours to create. So I look forward to welcoming you up on stage, but enjoy your day, enjoy your celebrations, and I'll meet many of you afterwards. Thank you.
Well, first of all, can I apologise to Mark? I'm 5'1", and the reason why we've got the platform is so I can see above the lectern. But apologies to those taller members on the platform today who will be towering over you as we speak. That was a fantastic contribution from Mark, and I'm really pleased to hear some of the advice that you've offered our students. And I think, Nigeria, I think you talked about the young lad in Botswana. The students that are here today, they're the people who the students who are currently in college look up to, aspire to your success, and also back in your community. So just remember that about the impact that you can have on people in your family and in your local community. Anyway, so now we've reached the part of the ceremony that you've all been waiting for, where every student will come up onto stage and receive their award. And as I said earlier on, please make sure that for your classmate or for your friend, your mum or your dad, whoever that graduate coming up on the stage is, please shout as loudly as you want, scream, whoop, take photographs, because it's really important that they recognise how proud you are of them. So I'm now going to hand over to Hazel Brady, Head of our Centre for Business and Creative, who will begin the presentation of the awards.
So if you could all just please bear with us for a couple of minutes while we organise all the graduates to allow them to receive their awards. shove them in there. We're now ready to start the ceremony. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Beauty Therapy. Nicola Coulter. Kirsty Ferrier. Dee Kerr. Margaret Smith. Rasheen Summerhill. Okay, Michelle? You okay? Michelle Tubbins. Catherine Young. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HND Beauty Therapy. Gemma Graham. Amy Lee Henderson. Caitlin King. Monica Landowska. Alana McKechnie. Hayley McLaren. Alicia Scally. Ashley Sivright. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Fashion Makeup. Darryl Claydon. Maya Lind. Paula Ricci. Nicoletta Vasiliato. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for SVQ Level 3 Hairdressing. Amy Hotchkiss. Alana Hunter. Demi Skinner. Diana Stefanikova. Samantha Stewart. Samantha Thompson. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Accounting. Aisha Ali. Donna Canning. Jack Dingwall. Jennifer Farrell. Julie Kent. Lindsay McGill. Frankie McClelland. Richard McPhail. Jolene Angle. Beauty N Cube. Courtney Porter. Lorna Reid. Dee Wilkinson. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Business. James Ferris. Marta Almeida. Ross McCarthy. Amna Nazir. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HND Business. Judith Katepa. Cameron McIntosh. Melissa Steele. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Events. Rena Abernethy. Ashley Brown. Andrew Fraser. Ashley Gilmore. Laura McFarlane. Laura Robinson. Florence Trostler. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for ILM Level 9 Certificate in Leadership and Management. Katrina Hunter. Scott McKenzie. Robert Taylor. David Whitton. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for CIPD Foundation Certificate in Human Resource Practice. Debbie Campbell. Claire MacDonald. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Contemporary Art Practice. Angelica Biasolo. Phoebe Gates. Jamie Rigg. Gwendolina Rota. Rachel Rutherford. Claudia Snedden. Kate Stewart. Anne-Marielle Vergara. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Creative Industries, Media and Communication. Holly Rennie. Heather Scott. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Photography. Aaron McMillan. I will now hand over to my colleague Alistair Charnley, Centre Head for the Health, Social Care, Social Science and Science Centre.
I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Care and Administrative Practice. Shona Carlin. Lara Drysdale. Amanda Graham. Natalie Gray. Joanna Hunter. Yasmin Hussain. Jessica Logan. Melissa Lowe. Sarah McIntosh. Nellie Makaripi. Megan McLadrigan. Katrina Scobie. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Social Care. Elizabeth Wood. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Social Services. Pamela Burnside. Tracy Burt. Shioni Campbell. Nicole Clark. Karen Correa. Laura Coyle. Courtney Craig. Angela Diet. Stephanie Fry. Sean Gallagher. Ashley Gray. Hannah Gray. Michelle Lowe. Marion McDonald. Donna McLaughlin. Kelly Meikle. Gloria Mensah. Need Mota. Alistair Nisbet. Gail Payton. Angela Riley. Evelyn Taylor. Heather Robertson. Lauren Sherborne. Stephanie Slane. Florence Smith. Suzanne Thompson. Hayley Turnbull. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Social Sciences. Tracy Ann Mulligan. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Applied Sciences. Mary Gristwood. Callum Rafferty. Fergus Young. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Hospitality. Mary Burns. Haston. Rebecca Main. Kenneth Maxwell. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Professional Cookery. Billy Leonard. Brian Macbeth. Aidan Preston. Vivian Wallace. Alan Williamson. I will now hand you over to my colleague Claire Glenn, Centre Head for Childhood Practice and Sport and Fitness.
We will now take a couple of minutes to organise the second part of the ceremony. Could everyone please remain seated to allow my colleagues to organise the graduands?
Donde
amante como tú. Dirán que eres mi luz, también sucederá. No importa lo que pasará, el tiempo va. Unas canciones no tienen ayer, los corazones llenos de pasión buscan y encuentran a alguien a quien querer. No podrán negar la historia.
The awards will now be presented.
Por las pasiones.
I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the HNC Additional Support Needs Supporting the Individual. Karen Black. Nicola Hamilton. Stacey Harrison. Karen McKeown. Ewan Nicol. Nicole Sale. Maxine Taylor. Bethany Woods. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the HNC Childhood Practice. Tegan Anderson. Courtney Buchanan. Melissa Candlish. Elaine Carey. Colette Clements. Jennifer Connor. Carrie Grant. Emma Gray. Chloe Greenberg. Michelle Gregg. Nadia Halliday. Sarah Hunter. Lauren Johnston. Sam Lawson. Stephanie Lord. Robin McMillan. Colette Marshall. Diane Mackay. Chloe McLean. Holly McNabb. Heather Norrie. Jennifer O'Hara. Kira Richards. Kelsey Roger. Lindsay Sandilands. Linda Sim. Natalie Simons. Chloe Stars. Julie Stewart. Teresa Sutherland. Fatu Tau. Louise Tate. Kirstine Taylor. Sarah Walker. Lauren Yates Badley. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the HND Childhood Practice. Ruth Aitken. Lisa Alexander. Deborah Brown. Karen Hay. Megan Hiddleston. Kashwar Irfan. Megan James. Marvin King. Kay McCauley. Jane Peters. Alison Smith. Claire Wilson. Caroline Wright. Lucy Zafungo. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the HNC Coaching and Developing Sport. Megan MacDonald. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the HNC Fitness, Health and Exercise. Natasha Duffin. Ian Ford. Małgorzata Szaselska. Ashley Davrin. Glenn McCarthy. Mark Napier. Vincent Robertson. Erin Sharp. Grant Thompson. I will now hand over to my colleague Gordon Weir, Centre Head for the Computing and Engineering Centre.
I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Computing. Caitlin Archibald. Grant Moscrop. Rebecca Robb. I have the pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HND Computing Networking. Blake Scott. Callum Sim. I have the pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HND Computing Software Development. Daniel McFern. Thomas Nyland. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Electrical Engineering. Stuart Duncan. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC Engineering Systems. Jack Burt. Cameron Stott. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HND Engineering Systems. Hazel Calderwood. Connor Ewart. Ewan Lakowski. Fraser Scott. Christopher Swan. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC in Mechanical Engineering. Blessing Makaripi. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HND in Mechanical Engineering. Douglas Cheeseman. Dylan Hood. Blazej Kroll. Dinu Serbu. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the HNC in Built Environment. Liam Blakey. Claire Dow. Louise Dunn. Gregory Johnston. Fiona McMillan. Martina Monroe. Jenna Snape. I have pleasure in presenting the following graduates for HNC in Civil Engineering. Scott Allen. Gillian Draper. Craig Ray. Ryan Reynolds. Jake Wilson. I have the pleasure in presenting the following graduates for the PDA in Advanced Craft, Carpentry and Joinery. Ryan Charge. Charlie Higgins. I will now hand over to the principal.
Well, congratulations to you all. Every single one of you should be proud of your success. But amongst you, and I know how proud the audience was of your success, especially the parents, friends and family amongst you. 5 of our graduates were nominated by their lecturers for special awards, and in this last section of the ceremony, Neil Findlay MSP has agreed to announce who has won these awards, and Provost Tom Kerr will present the special certificates and prizes to these students. Neil will tell us just a little bit about who will be receiving these awards, why they were nominated, and invite the winners onto the stage to receive their awards. So please join me in welcoming Neil Findlay MSP and Provost Tom Kerr.
I see what you mean about this step, Mark. This was put in for wee Jackie, the principal, no for people like me, so I'm getting a bit dizzy up here actually. The SQA Student of the Year Award is awarded to a student who has exhibited outstanding achievement. This year's award goes to Kate Stewart, graduating today with an HNC in Contemporary Art Practice. Kate first came to West Lothian College for an evening class to build her skills alongside her schoolwork. After achieving her hires, she studied NC Art and Design, after which she progressed to HNC Contemporary Art Practice, where she excelled. Kate was offered places at Edinburgh College of Art, Glasgow School of Art, Duncan of Johnson College of Art and Design, and an offer of direct entry to second year at Gray's School of Art at Robert Gordon University. There's fierce competition for places at these universities. For example, on average, 5,500 people apply to Edinburgh College of Art each year, and only 250 are accepted. Being offered 4 places at degree levels, she will thrive at art school, continue, and huge. I'm delighted in this year's SQA Student of the Year Award to Kate. This year the college is delighted to recognise 4 students for West Lothian College Student of the Year. This award recognises students who, as well as outstanding academic achievement, stood out through their commitment to the college, support for others, or through achieving additional academic qualifications from working with an employer or volunteer placement, or success in awards and competitions. The awards this year go to Rena Abernethy, HNC Accounting, Lauren Johnson, HNC Childhood Practice, Caitlin King, HND Beauty, and Vincent Robertson, HND Fitness, Fitness, Health and Exercise. I'm delighted to present all 4 students with their awards. Just before we conclude, I want to say that I've been a student at this college 3 times in my life, and I hope to be back again at some point in the future, and I hope you will look back at this as being a special place, because it certainly is. That concludes the presentation of the special awards. I'd like to hand over to Michelle Lowe, the President of the Student Association, now to give the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Today, this ceremony celebrates the achievements of our students. As a student body, our success is built upon our hard work, our commitment and our perseverance to overcome the odds, but we did not do this alone. So, on behalf of the students, I would like to thank all of the college staff who have supported us throughout our studies. I would like to thank Alex Lingston, the Chair of the Board of Governors, for leading our proceedings today. A special thanks to our Principal, Jackie Galbraith, and also to Neil Finlay, MSP, and Mark Beaumont for their encouraging words. For presenting the special awards, Provost Tom Kerr. I would like to thank our sponsors, whose names you will find in your programme packs. Their donations and assistance are greatly appreciated. I would also like to thank the team who have organised the graduation today. Lots of hard work has gone into this behind the scenes to make it such a success. Now can I please ask you all, and expressing your thanks to them all with me. And finally, can I thank you all for joining in the celebrations today with the graduates and all the support you have all given us throughout our studies. Can I now ask you all to please stand while our platform party proceeds out and the graduates will follow.
West Lothian College opens doors to the future. It opens doors to opportunities, to the world of work, and a better, brighter future for you.
My name is Amy. I'm studying HNCE Professional Cook Grade. My dreams are to open my own restaurant.
My name is Sarah. I'm in my 3rd year of my course. My dream job would be a sports massage therapist for the Scottish Rugby Union.
I'm Jack. I'm going to be a microbiologist, and I'm studying at West Lothian College doing applied science. This will take me on to university to get a degree.
I'm Sudais. I love sport and I'm studying Sport and Fitness Level 6.